What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Great Lakes Outdoors podcast. We're sitting here with old Cancer Joe, the local legend, the fishing guru. He's going to be my second-hand man here, so we'll see how that goes. But we're also with some coyote killers. It'll be our first podcast with some predator hunters on this podcast, and it'd be a first for me to learn about it, even though we kind of hunted the other day together. Scott Shepard and Dave, I can't even pronounce your last name, dude. I'm sorry.
Chudzinski.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Whatever he
Polish.
said. How are you guys doing tonight, man?
Phenomenal. Thank you for having us.
Yep, thank you for having us out and do a little chit-chatting.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you're here, Joe.
That was
Joe.
I'm glad you're
Joe,
That
you
was
seem like an opportunistic coyote hunter.
I've done my fair share of coyote hunting.
Yeah, at the opportunity, right? Deer hunting. I mean, for the
Deer hunts.
schwack sound.
here. Joe's killing anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's a killer. You can see
But,
it.
I mean, you guys just got off of a huge, I'll say win from anybody's book out of a tournament, like one of the biggest tournament out of Michigan. Even top 10 is just absolutely huge out of what was that, 115 teams?
112 teams total, and this is our best placing in the Great Lakes, making the money. But it's not all about the money, but it's
About the passion
it's
about
about
it
the
all.
passion,
Right.
and obviously everyone wants to win, right? That's
Correct.
That's why
Yeah.
you do it. This is our first time placing this high up in the Great Lakes as a team, and we were ecstatic, and it was just a great weekend. Tough hunting all around. We'll get into that, but this is a very good outcome for us as a team and a good building block.
For sure.
Yeah, to touch on what Scott just said, me personally, I've been hunting this particular tournament for the last 6 years, and I haven't come even close to placing, let alone anything, in the last 6 years. So, to be able to finish in the top 10's pretty huge.
Be able to be a part of that. Yeah,
there's a
for
bunch
sure.
there's a bunch
Real
of
nice.
killers that go out there and that hunt.
There's a lot of great guys and great teams,
yeah.
in
huge.
in the Coyote family,
Realm.
in the
Yeah.
Coyote
Community,
family.
yeah.
I mean, some of these guys that are watching right now, we've learned a lot from them. It's just
Yeah, the Coyote Nation guys, Joe
Yep.
Bartos. I mean, they've taught us a lot to get to where we're at.
So, I mean, you guys grew up, probably, I'm going to assume, because, I mean, I just met you, Scott, not too long ago. I mean, I've known of you as of last year when we took a mutual friend out. Well, I took a mutual friend out goose hunting, and then
Yep.
you were telling him, like, man, if you guys can get around this area, and the next thing you know, we're hunting next to the
Right.
field, and Tim's like, dude, are you kidding me right now? This,
Yeah.
that, and the other. But, I knew of you from there, and then I feel like we just not too long ago, we recently kind of just started talking and Snapchatting and texting or whatever it may have been. And, what kind of got you guys going? Because, I mean, the coyote, the predator hunting, and everything it's a huge financial, step, I guess you want to say, which is every outdoor sport. But,
Right.
I mean, what got you guys both into coyote hunting?
What got us into it? Actually, Dave got me into it, but
Guns.
guns
Guns.
and hunting. Dave's sister, was it Yorkie?
Yeah, Tiff had a Yorkie.
And was out going out potty, and next thing you know, coyote was running away with it.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And
my
so
sister-
she calls him and says, "Kill every one of these things around us."
Yeah.
And so we said, well, we don't know what we're doing yet, but we went out and got red lights, and that's the start of it, right? You use a daytime scope, but you got a red light, and
Right.
you're shining back and forth, looking at a red diamond in the field, and it, we entered a few tournaments once we got the red lights, tried to call some properties, and it snowballed from there. But that's what got us into it was
the dog getting
getting taken.
My sister's Yorkie, Harley, God bless his soul. You know what I mean? He got picked off in my sister's backyard, and from that point on, it was like, all right, game on. How are we going to figure out how to kill these things? Because they're obviously an apex predator, and
that's. I mean, I feel like growing up with Yorkies. My grandparents had Yorkies. My parents had Yorkies. Or a Yorkie. Joe, you have a small dog.
I've got a Yorkie poo. I've got a Yorkie.
So Joe's in the game too then.
Yeah.
But that was the biggest worry about this stuff.
The Eagles can snatch him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you lost your.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's for sure. I mean, the Yotes are just, getting in anything and getting underneath fences and just slithering their way through whatever it may be. So it's always a factor when you have a small dog like that. But Oscar, your dog, I mean, Oscar's a rare breed.
He just likes beer, that's all.
Okay. Well, he's still a rare breed.
No, I bought it for my daughter. It's a designer dog, It's a Yorkie poo. It's non-shedding, hypoallergenic. He would make great coyote bait. But no, yeah.
How much does it charge to have him out there
to lease him out for the night?
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, the point was like, and Joe, we're not a grooming crew here, so we don't care about what bloodline dog 30 years ago, what Oscar's family members were doing. But it's always a thing, and people like. They don't really realize how empowering and these coyotes are just going. They're going crazy out there because nobody. I don't know anybody besides you guys really that really gets after them and kills them the way that you guys do. I mean, Trav, he was in the same tournament. He's kind of like starting off. Him and his buddy Ben started off. They did not do too hot during the tournament with all the fog and stuff, but. I know his dad up in Ludington, they run the dogs and stuff like that after the Yotes, but around us, I mean, you guys are the only ones that kind of do it seems like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I say there's quite a few groups around us. Area. It's evolving. It's getting very big, fairly quick.
I'm just gonna flag that just for the location wise around go ahead.
Around us.
Yeah,
we're located.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a fair amount of groups that do what we do, but there's not.
I don't know anybody that does it in depth as you guys.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we and Scott. I mean, I got to give him a lot of credit. He went out and banged doors for probably 2-3 weeks, if not more. Just getting extra permission around where we had one central location. And at the end of the day, that's kind of where you have your success. Because, like, the coyotes can be here, but if you don't have permission around there, you really can't kill them.
It's tough. I mean, and I'm surprised even, like, with...
Lowers your odds.
100%.
Yeah.
And talking and getting to know Scott even more with the amount of properties, like you said, that he's been out knocking and this, that, and the other. I'm surprised the amount of people that actually turn him down. Because even like we talked about prior, like my main farm or like the main farm that I go off of, a lot of these guys don't even want them being killed because of the amount of deer that are getting pushed into that area and 100%. The crop damage and everything, which obviously understandable. You're taking the price of everything going down, but them coyotes they're out of control. It seems like
they really are. They really are. I mean, if you look at genetically with what coyotes are actually able to do, I mean, they vocalize. They can dictate the size of their litter. They can have bigger litters if there's no coyotes around.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for instance, we had one property. We killed 7 females off of one property last year, and they repopulated, and that might be hands down the most infested area we have this year because we killed 7 coyotes or females, 7 female coyotes off of that one property last year.
Nice.
So anything that was left, they repopulated the area, and genetically they're geared to repopulate an area.
Can you say the same thing about foxes as well?
Foxes, I would say
they don't produce as fast. I mean, I guess I'm not sure as far as scientifically, but I think their litter's smaller.
Okay.
So even if you were to kill one or two in an area, they're not going to have a litter of 12 to 14 or 9. I mean, they just have smaller litters too. So,
And the family group on the foxes are a lot smaller, and the matriarchs, they push them,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but we personally have seen an uptick in foxes because of the popularity of coyote hunting.
And the only reason why I ask that is because one of our guys, which I don't even know if I mentioned it to you the night that we went out, which was my first time. You all right there, Joe?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I can hear you out of my right ear.
Yeah, something's messed up with. I got to get that fixed. But anyway, so there was a guy like local that we goose hunt with and do a lot of our waterfowl hunting with. He lives, 20 minutes away from here. He ended up killing two female foxes the last week or so. So I wasn't sure if that kind of carried on with the fox litters or whatever, because around here we don't really see a lot of fox or anything. We see, coyotes they're obviously everywhere, but fox, that's kind of a dime a dozen, it seems like.
There was one on the bridge on Tuesday.
Really?
Hit by the semi.
No kidding.
Yep. And about
Hey, I need you to send me a drop pin so we can go take care of that.
Hour later, I went to go back up there to pick it, to skin it out, and at least try to recover the tail. It was gone.
Really? I feel like
Eagle probably grabbed it.
I feel like has any of those properties that I've even pinned, like, have they been worth anything?
Yes, actually, 2 of them we killed off of the one property that
Really?
that you gave me, and that was you gave me the name of the one, and it snowballed from there, and I just door knocked, hey, this farmer's letting me hunt his property. Oh, if he's letting you, then absolutely you can hunt mine. I trust him, and so like I said, it was just a good
snowball.
It's kind of crazy and I don't think really people realize how much like property owners or farmers really communicate between each other, even about coyote hunting or waterfowl hunting or deer hunting or whatever it may be. Trust is obviously a huge thing, but you get that one top guy,
they all let you go.
Yeah, exactly. It's insane, the word of mouth and the trust goes with all of that stuff.
Yeah, the trust is huge. Like if they trust and know and understand that, hey, we are 100% thermal, we're 100% suppressed, we won't wake you up, we won't
we're not driving in your field,
we're not driving in your field, those are at the end of the day, it's 100% respect.
You let me hunt your property, I'll in return respect.
No, you're on now, Joe.
Oh, what?
No.
Oh my God, the whole time I've been talking to this.
No.
I feel like you're just not talking right.
Close enough.
There you go.
There you
gotta put a little bass in your voice.
Jeez, oh Pete, who invited this guy? But no, that's a huge thing. Even me and Scott try to get in contact and talk a lot, because I've never really, I've never done it before.
Right.
So we try to talk about like getting together and stuff, and then one night,
it was the worst conditions.
You've never coyote hunted?
No, besides with Scott that one night, and like you said, it was the worst conditions because we had some.
They are primo spots, and we didn't even see a mouse, a deer. We saw one fox.
Yeah,
but.
And 2 deer across the field behind us on the one spot.
But that was it. Normally, last weekend we went out, I don't know how many raccoons and rabbits.
Oh, everything was out. Yeah, we could probably shot 24, 25.
He almost shot a mouse thinking it was a coyote.
We did see one rabbit.
You know what? When you're that freaking tired and you're exhausted and you have a flash of something that's hot and warm in the scope.
In your thermal?
Yeah, in the thermal.
I got some wine. Want some wine?
Bro, hey, man. But something flashes across your scope, you get excited, especially on the first night run we had. our first night it was epic.
God.
We killed 6 of probably
9.
6 of 9.
9
we harvested.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
They took a ride in the back of the truck, but
you don't have to be politically correct for all.
No, we shot the fuck out of 6 of 9.
There you go. If anybody is here and is scared about the political thing, listen to our last podcast. I don't know if you guys heard about it. It was
Dr. Phil was here.
yeah, right. This will come out, a week or two after this one dropped, but Brad and Tanner came into town. They're from Ohio. We got into a little kind of scuffle at the bar before this, and the guy keyed his truck. And
where was I?
Probably sleeping, Joe.
Hey, you don't have to deal with that with Kyle hunting.
No,
I'm not even gonna lie.
Everyone else is sleeping.
Well, the thing was, like we they beat us here, and I told them to go to a local bar that is whatever. They're from Ohio. One of the local guys was like all over him, and next thing you know, he wakes up in the morning and Joe, sit down. and the guy wakes up in the morning time and sees his truck. Guy ended up keying his truck. The guy that kicked out. So the one guy, Brad, the bar gave us like a bunch of free drinks after the fact. And by the time we got here for the podcast, Brad was absolutely just gone. Right. So the F-bomb was like every other word for Brad. So yeah, it's not like
you're good.
Family friendly.
Yeah,
there's some rated R podcasts that we have here.
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is, huh?
Really bad. Like
You'll have that sometimes.
I mean, we're not on the black market, but whatever. But no, I just getting to know Scott and getting this was our first night.
My
meeting
first time
too.
meeting you too. Yeah.
Yeah, which is it's definitely been a pleasure.
Do you guys run decoys?
No, we don't run any decoys. The only thing
All
we
calls.
run all call. We try and figure out what the Coyotes are saying to us. So
I'm hungry.
So yeah, exactly. So our typical set,
exactly what they said
for this the first night we'd run a little bit of food and to give somebody that like is unfamiliar with what we do. Food would be like a dying rabbit or a rabbit in distress or
a vole, any squeaks, a bird chirping, something high pitch.
Yep.
Woodpecker.
Yeah, try that for a quick hot second, and then sometimes that triggers them. If they're close, maybe we get a fox to jump out real quick. If we're targeting, obviously, coyotes or fox for the tournament, but if we can target something that's in close range, generally food might peek them out before we let off a big old howl. This last weekend
type of year. I mean, timing.
Summertime, you go out. That's all you play is
that's
food.
That's all you do. Spring.
Yeah, springtime, play dying rabbit,
That was one thing that I was like, it was cool to see for the first time, like with the setups that you guys have, obviously, because, for example, like the first spot that we hit, Scott, was like, a perfect spot where we've seen that fox at.
Oh, yeah. I want to go back there so bad.
Yeah, it was a prime spot.
Hey, we got a tournament in a couple of weeks. You know what I mean?
Well,
you'll be available.
I told Scott, I was going to say, you just got to let me know the days, and then we're good to go.
The 24th.
Okay, we're fine. Just keep reminding me because I'm terrible at reminding myself on even like my birthday or whatever it may be. But, with the setup that you guys have, allows you guys to go into so many other spots like that because, he was worried about that in the beginning, and then, it's insane. But going back to it where it kind of brought me back to the waterfowl, like because you guys are so like diagnosing a situation where it's
your wind,
the call, the wind, the setup. I mean, just everything. And that's what kind of leads me to the bird hunting aspect of the waterfowl hunting. The small details and the coyote hunting is the same exact way. And that's why I kind of, obviously I wasn't behind the gun or anything, but it all kind of clicked with me with the sequences and stuff like that. It was very
you gotta
minus the 7 trucks, 2 trailers full of decoys.
I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, yeah, that's a big difference on.
That's the fun part.
Bird hunting versus coyote hunting. But
now,
right?
Are you guys
the attention to detail.
Digital callers?
Yes.
Or and mouth for your squeakers? Or?
I suck at fucking.
I've tried it. I don't know. I mean, nothing's ever come in yet, but.
No, and I've got a skin on my wall. My cousin Matt, I swear to God, he fucking grabbed the hand call, squeaked motherfucker in, and
It's almost like one of those things where even like the flute calls for like the goose.
It's a tone and a time, and a time and place, and a tone.
Curiosity is what killed the cat.
Every time that I tried to, I like the digital. I hit it with my phone. I would.
What's up, Randall?
You know,
hey, that shit works.
Call.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
Randall should be here.
Yeah,
Randall Vanover should be here.
Yeah.
But
by the way, and so should my sister.
The calls,
hey,
I would see them hit up, and they would 100 miles the other way.
You do that.
That simple squeak.
Yep. Yeah, I have a story very similar to what you're just talking about. I was showing a buddy, I'm like, hey, man, I got the scope, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, all right, cool. So what do you do? And I was like, well, you just make a sound just like what you did.
Yeah.
Very familiar to that. Boom. Made the squeak sound. I had down the damn dirt road.
He's in his front yard.
In my front yard on a dirt road. Just showed up. He's like, well, shoot it. I said, I wasn't expecting to try and call and shoot.
Is that a car or a coyote?
Right.
I couldn't tell.
No, this damn coyote come running down the dirt road. And next thing you know, he was 60 yards in front of us, ready to be shot. And he was like, shoot him. I'm like, I don't even have a mag out here. I'm just showing you the scope, bro.
Now, for predator hunting, have you guys ever like went into like trapping or anything as well?
I have on, Amanda's property. So I have a handful of properties where I've put snares.
Okay.
For coyote or for bait?
For coyote, yeah. You know, Amanda... So this particular property, she'd take out and like, oh, my freezer broke and I'm throwing out a bunch of shit. But you could, with snow, I mean, you can tell where they're going.
Right.
And I threw out a couple snares and I was successful with, I think, 3 coyotes and snares that particular year. But even after that, it was like, all right.
I mean, do you guys go after coons or anything though? Like
I mean, we can if a property owner wants us to go shoot some raccoons. I mean, I have a
lot of spots.
Yeah,
with coons.
Absolutely. Hey, that's fun shooting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and that's bait. You could, bait
potentially.
Yeah. I remember the one year we were goose hunting and we shot 15, 20 geese. We just threw them out, out in the back of the cornfield there. Like 2 days later, we go back, and there it looks like somebody took it down, and there was goose feathers for a mile through the woods because them coyotes just drug them.
Hey, there were from a mile away. He's not kidding. A mile away, they took and dragged a whole freaking goose after we breasted it out.
And then the wind would just take the feathers, and it was everywhere.
Well, because that the one spot that what I think about the most is like the turkey season with like the poult and everything. Like, I think so much of the coons and the coyotes just like absolutely wrecking it.
Yeah, you can watch it even when you're deer hunting. You can watch it.
I hate it, man, because now the turkey population is growing and growing in our area,
record numbers,
and I keep on wanting to see that. But like, there's one property alone that I would love, if we can get out there one night and coyote or coon hunt.
Oh,
let's go.
It's one of those things where I went out midday and I think I seen 6 or 7 just pulling the camera out. It was absolutely incredible. Like, it was insane. Yeah. It's not far
from. You see twice as many at night.
Right, and that's the scary part because it seems
you're
like
seeing a small portion.
Well, that's a good lead to go on right there.
Yep.
Well, the problem is though, it's like every year it seems like it's only a certain amount of coyotes. Or turkeys, I'm sorry, and I'm wondering why. Like that's
why?
If that's why.
No question why?
There, dirty bird.
Right. So it's just, I don't know. If you guys, want to, we got our late goose season coming up, which by the time this drops,
this weekend?
Yeah.
Well, by the time this drops, it might be done with. But
it's this weekend.
Yeah, I'm kind of screwed over it. Oh, we'll see what happens.
No,
you gotta watch my drone footage.
You can't get beat up on that.
You got 2 weekends.
I always say that, and
probably best.
They'll kill out 40 at it.
Is there 2 weekends?
Yeah, this weekend, next weekend.
Yeah.
Next following Monday it closes the 12th.
Yeah.
So does it start this weekend and goes the whole week?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, pile them up in my driveway. KG.
All right, John.
Kyle Goose.
Why do you remind me so much of Uncle Si? I don't know why.
Joe's just the old timer. I'll tell you one thing.
Can I call you Uncle Joe?
You can call me Uncle Joe. I want to go
Uncle
back.
Joe.
I like these cats.
You don't have a charger, do you?
Go on.
What kind of phone you got there?
He's got a stupid iPhone.
Uncle Joe. I swear to God, we can shoot the shit out of these birds. We'll shoot the shit out of the coons.
I'm not
Put 'em out in
a
a
big
big
bird.
pile.
I'm not a big bird guy. I used to be,
need
and
a
I got
block.
over it. It's
Oh, I got one in my truck. I'll be right back.
Okay.
4 legs with a rack on the head and
Yeah, I don't.
fish and fishing and
I'm
trapping.
not a big deer hunter, but
Beaver trapper. Yeah, I know. I just pick them up on the side of the road.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a solid question right there. Even like when you guys, how long ago have you guys really got involved with this coyote hunting?
so me personally, I have 6 years of experience.
So in those 6 years, how have you been able to see like the progression of, whether it be the turkeys or the deer, like prosper off of that?
Right. So in one property in particular, which is right across the street from my house. So don't Google my shit, but
You don't got to say where, but I know what
I'm
you're
talking
talking
for
about.
the people that are looking live.
He's about to drop the pin right now.
Exactly. I mean, if you really want to fucking stalk me, you can. But directly the animals that I'm trying to harvest, right in front of my house, the turkey numbers, I see them probably in flocks of 25 to 30, and my deer have greatly grown. So I feel like what we're doing
Win-win.
with the coyotes, yes, it's
That's
a
a
win-win.
win-win.
Win-win. I mean, across the street from my house, I mean, we probably killed 15 or 20 total.
Scott, I know there's extension cords out there too. I mean, I don't know if it's going to mess up that or whatever it may be, but I do know that. Not to cut everybody off.
Yeah.
For the listeners that are not on our Facebook or Instagram live, we got, obviously that going on right now. So we got a low percentage phone. So we're just trying to manage that. But yeah, that's one thing that, I don't think people understand and they don't take the time and try to pursue this stuff. They complain about the numbers and, they just don't do anything about it,
Yeah, absolutely.
the fawn killers.
Yeah, no. And
I've got a question for David. Have you hunted north for coyotes? Get any coy wolf? Have you?
Me personally, I have driven all the way to Lake City. I went after bobcats. I've been severely beat up by the bobcats. Like I got my ass kicked by bobcats.
Anya loves your hat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've traveled as far as north as Lake City. So but I tell you what, my cousin Matt, he's got it figured out with him and his buddy Jeremy. I mean, they can run the fucking dogs. And our last trip, me and my sister went up there. We killed the first day before probably 11 o'clock. We killed 3 coyotes on Saturday morning before 11 o'clock. I mean,
Nice.
Yeah, them dogs, they got that shit figured out. And I tell you what, if nobody's ever run dogs on coyotes, if you're interested,
I'm old
do
school.
that shit.
I'm old
Yeah.
school.
Hey, go
I
do it
might
one
have
time.
or might not have gone to the pound and got me a dog.
yeah,
that
one
will-
that'll chase it, right?
Yeah.
One that
As
gets
long
a
as you
sense,
go-
and I don't know
come
what
back.
the fuck I'm
that's-
chasing, but
That's a true
God
story.
damn.
Those do really work.
Yeah.
Any exotic colors?
Scott,
Any blondes or
well,
dark blacks?
my personal best long shot was a blonde red at 319. I killed Scott this weekend. Killed one hell of a coyote. He actually took it to 2 taxidermists this weekend, and neither one of the taxidermists this weekend that he took that coyote to had ever seen a color pattern like that. So it's
Really?
more of like a platinum white. Yeah, he's gonna show you right there.
Oh my!
So it's
silver.
platinum,
Yeah,
platinum
it's-
white, gray.
Oh, they call that.
well, that's what I'm calling
That's
it.
what I'm calling it. I don't know what they
Yeah.
call it.
It's
Yeah.
silver.
It's
And
a
I
silver.
just hold.
Look at that belt.
I just
You
hold
guys
them up.
see that? Look at that belly.
We've
What's
never seen-
what's the craziest thing what you guys might have even talk about that. What's the craziest thing you guys have seen out there? Because it goes into my next thing that I want Joe to be able to tell. What's the craziest thing you guys seen at night out, wherever you guys are hunting, like encounters or what's?
For me, it's like, you throw on food was a call. And
Bigfoot.
Next thing, hey, ain't no damn Bigfoot.
I'll tell you what, when you're walking out of your tree stand at night, Bigfoot comes alive. I'm telling you right now.
I get it. For me, it's the owls. The owls are cool as hell.
I'm sure they're insane.
You throw on food, and owls swoop down at the call. They'll set in the field. They'll set in a tree. They'll be all guarded. And
puffed
then
up.
They're guarded, and then they turn their head, and that's all you see is the heat from their head, and they're like looking at this shit like, ooh, I'm going to get that.
Right.
But, man, the owls, for me, the owls are cool. Don't get me wrong. I love... Yeah, Hootie.
Your feet don't fit on a branch.
Yeah. I wish they did. Their perspective is probably amazing, especially in the middle of the night. But
the only reason why I ask that is because I want Joe to be able to tell a story when he was out deer hunting one year.
Oh, I hope something happened cool.
Oh, the eagle that stole the decoy.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, I was out turkey hunting one time.
Yeah, me too.
I've had that happen.
I had a red tail.
I was scratching, boop, 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 calling fucking turkeys. I had a tom on a stringer. Next thing you know, eagle swoops down. Took my decoy all the way across the street. I found it at the bottom of their nest.
No kidding.
My decoy. He took it probably half mile.
I'm not a big turkey hunter. I have, all my buddies, all the, waterfowl guys.
Oh, yeah.
And my buddy John taking me out turkey hunting. Buy the license. I'm going to do the whole turkey hunt thing. And he's got property. We army crawl out in this ditch line, and he's calling.
Why?
Birds. Well, because it's wide open fields. And it's after work.
Birds are sleeping in a tree. You can see them.
No, this is after work. I only got like a 2-day window.
Yeah.
Friday or Saturday and
you
Sunday.
grab that thermal scanner. You take a peek where the birds are sleeping.
He takes me out there.
At.
We park our truck, and he's like, they're way out there. I'm like, it's 1,000. We got to walk 1,000 yards. I'm like, what the fuck?
Bro,
but anyways,
I'm not trained
so
for
he's
this.
got the fancy decoys that, fold up into your backpack.
Yeah, Joe's got to smoke 7 cigarettes by the time he gets out to the blind.
Oh, no, I did not. I don't even think I smoked this. I
on the way
wished
back, you
myself. Oh, yeah, I smoked a lot on the way back.
Well, yeah, because
I hated life on the way back. But anyways, make a long story short, so we stay down low the ditch line, and he's calling. We hear him. We crawl up. We see him. 3-4 big toms and 2 hens. And he army crawls out in this field, and he puts these decoys up, right? And then army belly crawls back out and tells me, go tuck up into that little brush pile and stick the gun out that hole and just don't move. And then he goes down 15, 20 yards away because they're way out there. He didn't call them.
Yeah.
So he's doing his calls, and here they come. They work in, 100, and they stop. Look back at the hens, and he hits the call. Oh, she's hot. They come in. So now, almost in range.
Now you're half chub.
I'm full. I'm almost full chub.
Yeah, shit.
And I'm looking down the barrel, and all I hear is plastic. I look over, and decoys are gone. And then they fall in the field. It was a red tail. I'm pretty sure it was a red tail hawk. Just came and grabbed that decoy and dropped it. Them turkeys went 3 counties over, man. As soon as that hawk hit that field, picked up that decoy.
I'm gone.
I want you to tell them the story deer hunting, though. In the state area.
What state?
This state, but just south of us here.
Oh, yeah.
South of town.
Yeah. Make sure
you know what I'm talking about or no?
Yeah.
Anytime you reference
sure they're dead.
where you're hunting,
Make sure their deer are dead.
No. Not that one.
Chelsea, Aaron.
When all of a sudden there was Border Patrol and
Border Patrol.
Oh, yeah. Point
yes.
Yes.
Can I name the?
You can name it. You can name it.
Yeah,
the emu. Remember we had an emu run?
Oh yeah, we were bird hunting. We had a fucking I got a trail cam picture this year of another emu.
running
Where
through
are
our
you guys
decoy
running?
spread.
Through our decoy spread. I shit you not.
That would probably fall under the category. What is it? 72 hours? Any tagged?
And
Anything? Yeah,
in
that would have been
emu,
fair
though,
game.
Joe?
We were in our layup lines.
I'll show you. If I had my
Emu.com.
phone's up there, I got an emu on camera this year again. And I started, it's hard to just laughing. I got an emu on fucking camera again.
I almost lost my tonsils by a sandhill crane.
He's making
Okay,
out with it.
okay, stop.
No, I was feeding it. My mom camping, and she feeds them, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna. And I thought I
Tip
could
her
just.
well?
No, I thought I can. I got chickens.
There's a red-haired chick from the bar.
I thought I was gonna be able to
saw.
grab a sandhill
Yeah,
crane
code
and
word,
grab it
yeah.
and hold it like a chicken, because you can get to me you that close.
As they kill like 10, 20, 30 dogs a year by
I
stabbing.
had sunglasses on, and when I grabbed that motherfucker,
It pecked you.
no, it hit the top. Of
That's
my
the noise it
tooth.
made too.
Yeah, it probably is.
His beak hit the top of my tooth, and I felt it touch my tonsil.
Oh.
That's what she said.
Did you pay
And it
extra
happened
for
so
that?
fast, and I looked, it split my shirt because it
Better show them viewers
kicked me.
your scar.
It split my shirt.
Can you just tell the story
All right.
about over there?
Okay,
Jesus.
so point me there.
This is
So that
Cancer
was
Joe.
4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, it was
No, it was longer than that.
6. Anyways, Point Moulet, close to home.
Hunting.
Another after work spot.
Corey,
That
he's
you
another
said?
part of the Great Lakes.
Hunted it for years,
Okay.
and I get out there on a Saturday morning, and I'm in a ladder stand. 12-foot ladder stand on state land.
This is insane.
Yeah, on Point Moulet, which is all like planted fields,
secluded.
waterfall,
Yeah.
But the deer do run through there.
Yeah.
And it was just,
the duck territory.
yeah, but there's deer there.
Yeah. Hey, they're
So
trying
it's
to
like-
find a nut too.
Second weekend, and I'm in the stand before the sun comes up, and I'm sitting in there, and let me step back. The day before, sun comes up, and I just hear pheasants cackling.
How's it going in? Hold on, I need.
I'm telling you right
no,
now,
I'm not
Joe is
good.
by far
No.
the best storyteller I've ever heard in my life. I'll
So
tell you
I
that.
look
Right.
into the bean field, and I just see feathers. Now I just see feathers in the air. I'm like, wow, I didn't hear no shot.
Right.
Next day, I'm in there 2 hours early, and I hear
Same shit.
it's a bean field on my right, and every grain it's a mixed field. I mean, they
Right.
just dump
Yeah.
all the seed in like a little 5-acre field. I can hear it crashing through the corn and sorghum and all that, and it hits the base of my tree stand.
Now you're shaking. All right.
I can't, but I don't see nothing. I'm like, and I hear it go. I'm like, oh. Sun comes up. I do my little selfie. I get this ominous feeling, and the burlap comes up to about right here. And,
So
my
you're peeking.
climber.
You're peeking.
Can I time you out real quick?
You can time me out real quick.
You took a selfie in the tree stand?
Oh, yeah.
And I took some.
How many
Shit.
birds?
That's gonna be the end of the podcast.
How many sunrises have you taken?
I know, and the shadow with the sun. I got a bunch of stupid photos.
That's going to be the end of this nice
So I leaned
podcast.
forward. I leaned forward in my stand. At the base of my stand is a big cat.
No.
Like a meow meow
You
cat
heard
or
it, though. You heard it before.
Yeah,
like a
Okay, so
bark?
backtrack on when you
I
hearing
know.
it.
I know.
You-
But I wasn't 100% positive. I couldn't.
It's
When I
like-
laid eyes on it,
You
it's-
felt like something was staring at
Oh
you,
yeah,
though.
you felt it. It was like somebody's watching me.
It's like a
And I-
barn cat or what?
No, listen,
Like,
listen.
This
No,
is
no,
descriptive.
Listen,
Like,
this is cougar, mountain lion, puma, whatever you want to call it, with a collar.
oh,
Now, this is before Michigan acknowledged that there was big cats here,
right.
because the state of Michigan didn't have funding for it. Right. Now they admit it. This is before they admitted it, and this is right here in our backyard. And I lean forward. He's at the base. No, he didn't go meow.
what did it do? What did it do? What did it do?
He dropped on his haunches, rocked back, and we made eye contact, and just went, just gave out this fucking, and then it's 800-yard bean field, and I watched this cat go 800 yards away from me.
Bro.
It wasn't trying to hurt me. It just gone.
Yeah,
You scared it.
you're not natural. You're not from here.
Yeah.
I'm getting the fuck out.
And I watched it run. Now, there's a DNR post. And I didn't go that day. I called my buddy. I was so scared
You
to
were
walk.
fucked up.
I was so scared to
I
come out
gotta
of that
call
woods that
him,
day.
hey.
I called my buddy. I said, hey, I walked out with like a buddy system.
He had to drive to the bottom of the stand to get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rode the bike.
Yeah.
Because I keep a bike in my truck.
Golly.
So,
I mean, I don't blame him for seeing
No,
one
fuck
of the big
no.
cats out there like
yeah.
that.
So the next day I stayed home or whatever. So the third day I went to the DNR office. Now, mind you, I took photos of the prints at the base of my stand.
Which I had a picture of that on my
Yeah,
phone before I lost it in the water hole.
I know. I still have the pictures of the footprints. I lost the hair.
It was next to
And
the
then we're
Sharpie.
hitting my stand. I got some fur in the bolt, so I take it, put it in my wallet. I put a Sharpie. Look, I put a Sharpie. All I had was a Sharpie pen, and I put a Sharpie pen.
Can I time you out again? You just said you put a bowl in your wallet with a hair in it?
No, when it hit the stand, the bolt, where you put your legs.
Yeah,
The bowl.
brushed the bolt.
With the T.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he brushed the stand.
Yeah, and it wasn't white breast hair off of a white tail. This is some blonde, yellow lab looking like shit. And I take it up to the DNR lady. Her name was Tammy. I still remember this name to the day. And she goes, well, so happens to be our biologists are in Wyoming doing canine and feline training.
Deal.
Yep.
Well, and then
A week later, he comes back from doing this. And they said, oh, my neighbor hunts with the
So-and-so. Yeah.
DNR, the biologist's son. And I never told my neighbor the story yet. And he said, oh, man. He's like, yeah, this guy. Yeah, DNR. It was a lab running across the field.
what did you see going down the road, though?
This is 4 or 5 days later now. Now I'm getting dropped. Now I'm having my wife drop me off, ride my bike into my stand. She picks me up.
Yeah, that's a lost
And
there's
a F-250 with
just a convoy.
triple dog boxes.
yeah,
Big. Now, you think these are walkers. These are big dogs. And who's parked next to them?
DNR.
The DNR.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So now when I went to the DNR station, she gave me a spiel that was like written. Oh, that's University of Ohio State coming here, and they're doing because there was trucks. I noticed like once a month, there's this truck that had antennas.
Right.
Oh, they're doing research on fledgling ducks to their migration. Yeah, okay.
So this is why I was wondering, like,
Yeah.
what your guys' craziest thing with predator hunting, because something like that would come to a call like you guys are doing.
But we can, obviously, with thermals, we can ID. You can tell the difference between a domestic, a coyote.
100%.
Just vision-wise.
Yeah,
though,
vision-wise,
seeing
yeah,
something,
absolutely. It's funny. We were at check-in this year, and we're sitting there talking to some guy, and he had a Great Dane come into the call. And 2 minutes later, the guy's driving down his truck, yelling out his truck, calling for a dog. He's great. Luckily, those people weren't using the ATN, and they could identify.
Yeah.
So I want to touch on the dog story right
I
there.
gotta use the restroom, so I'm gonna take time out.
In Newport, a buddy of mine, his dad has a boxer that's in an outdoor kennel, and he's calling. He says, "Joe, you got to come kill these coyotes." And they got a farm. They bale hay and all that stuff. And
That's right. Cool.
like, he's like, every night, my dad goes and feeds the dog, and it's an 8-foot fence, 8x8 dog kennel, and it's a boxer. He goes, my dad's telling me every night he goes feeds the dog, the coyotes come out and they climb the fence and eat the dog food. I'm like, yeah, right. No way. And I bow hunted this. I shot this one with a conventional bow. He said, Joe, my dad's going to go put the dog food in the kennel, and before he gets to the house, them coyotes are going to come out. And I'm hiding behind a big round bale, 20 yards from the dog kennel. I watch him go out there, pour the dog food. As soon as I heard that screen door, 3 noses poke out on the end of the corn. I could see the black. They nudge the pups out. They run out. She just beelines right to the kennel, barking at the kennel, and climbs it like a human. Climbed the 8-foot fence, jumped in. That dog went right into his house, and she sat there and ate all the dog food. I'm like, no way.
It's wild.
Unbelievable. And climbed right back out.
Yep.
I'm like, all right, Nate, we're gonna hunt this tomorrow. Like,
right.
Seriously. So next day, I hunt it. Just like clockwork, his dad goes out there, takes his little coffee can of food, hits that metal bowl, and now I'm ready. And as soon as she put her 2 paws up on the fence, standing clean, double lung, I shoot it. She runs across the road and dies in the ditch. I stay there. I tell Nate, I got one. I go, there's 3, 4 more. He's like, just stay. They never came out. So we go to the ditch. I'm going to retrieve the game. Water right there. I'm like, it's a perfect spot to skin it out. And as we're doing, this lady drives by. Second time, third time, the 4th time, she's bawling her eyes out. Is that my dog? Is that my German Shepherd? I go, no, that's probably what got rid of your German Shepherd.
On top of that,
yeah.
Did you guys hear about the lady in Texas last year?
Not offhand.
Did you hear about that?
Say again?
I think it was Texas. The lady that shot the wolf.
Oh yeah. It was a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
Husky.
Or Husky. Yeah.
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Some lady was out there predator hunting, ends up shooting the neighbor's husky, skins it out, cleans it all out and everything, and takes pictures.
Yeah.
She doesn't even have a tag for it. She doesn't have anything to do with it, but she's posting all over Facebook that there's wolves in Texas now and going absolutely nuts over it. But going back to like the thermal and what you guys are using, it's so nice for that kind of to be able to know what you're shooting at, because obviously you're not going to shoot. You're not supposed to shoot anything, I should say, without knowing.
I mean, accidents are going to happen, right? I mean, as best as we can, we're going to prevent them, right?
Right.
We're going to put the best technology in our hands that allow us to positively ID anything that we're going to pull the trigger on, right? I mean, it goes back to, our how we were trained or, how we were brought up, right? You don't pull the trigger unless you're going to, positively ID what the hell you're killing.
Especially at a mouse, right?
Yeah, at a mouse. Hey, no.
See your target and identify what's behind your target.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Them raccoons during the tournament look like coyotes.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. But,
them are the big raccoons.
All jokes aside, we're going to put the best technology in our hands to positively ID everything that we're going to see.
What are you using for equipment, Dave?
For me, I'm using this last tournament. I used a Rix L6 or a Leap L6. I mean, I'm so used to a Pulsar. My other setup is a Pulsar XP50 LRF trail. The difference between the Rix and the trail is the base magnification. So everything that I saw specifically for the tournament, everything looked way closer. So we had dogs. We had coyotes at 529 yards.
He's like, you ready to take them? I'm like, we can throw lead if you want.
Right, yeah. I'm like, dude, my sister ranged them and she hit brush.
Yeah, she hit brush.
She hit brush
a
at
Dutch
300, and I'm like, dude, we're in. We're in at 300.
I'm like, I don't see him. He's like, come over here. So I stepped to the left of him. And
jumped over
I'm like, dude, they're at 530. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yep, 529, 520. Yeah, he's moving. Now, I said, we can.
So anybody that's using the Rix Leap L6, I mean, the base mag, everything looks way closer than it should be or is. But my other setup and what I'm used to is the Pulsar Trail 2 LRF XP50, and both setups are phenomenal. I will give a shout out to Rix. That scope in particular cut through the fog and the conditions probably, I'd say, fair enough. Probably another 100 yards.
What caliber do you have that mounted on?
I have it on a 6 Creedmoor POF. So
Yeah, we just switched this year. We both just
give a shout out to Uncoiled.
Yep, I was gonna say our Uncoiled, who we kind of sponsors us for coyote hunting. We get all our equipment through them. We all of us just bought 6mm Creedmoors. Basically, 243 on steroids.
Yeah, that's
fast, flat, great BCs on it, and that coyote I shot. The taxidermist says, "What'd you shoot this thing with?" It was 6mm. There was the size of the bullet in and out. It wasn't ripped open. Granted, it didn't hit no bones, so it probably didn't have the bullet never expanded, but. So I'll let you finish.
Still had a nice pelt.
But my two setups are 6 Creedmoor with a Leap L6, and then I have a 6 Arc with a Pulsar XP50 LRF.
Go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, we got some questions up there.
Corey's got a question. But yeah, I'm running this year the new 6mm POF. It wasn't the Patriots. What's the other one?
You've got not the Patriot.
What grains are you running?
87 grain.
87's the
custom
flattest
load?
one.
Nope.
So you just go with the
Yep,
standard.
Hornady. Yep, right off the shelf. Buy it by the case, so all the it's one batch.
Sure.
And we right across from my house, we can shoot 800-900 yards, and with my scope.
Can I come over tomorrow?
Yeah. With
If
my
you want,
yeah,
oh, absolutely.
with my scope, they just came out. It's called they have
The
ballistics calculator on it. It's almost kind of, as long as the rangefinder can pick it up. Yeah, it's not cheating, but they came out with it. I'm going to use it. It's you basically range it, and it puts an extra crosshair where you need to aim. So
it calculates your MOA.
Yep, it calculates your drop basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's so I'm running a Thermion XG50 LRF on my 6mm Creedmoor, and then for calls I'm using I have 2 calls. I have a Lucky Duck Roughneck, basically just called
Lucky Duck.
Yep.
Is that what we were using that one night?
Yep, that's what we used, the Lucky Duck. I switched last year. Joe Bartos, he's probably not listening no more, but
Yeah, you might.
He better be.
yeah. Anyways, he got me hooked up onto them. You can adjust it. It has a extra tweeter on there, so if you want higher pitch sound like a bird or something, you can jack that up. Wind, it cuts through a little better. So far it's been a great call. Other call is a Icotech, and it's just. They're both phenomenal. The Icotech, you can run a decoy on it, if we want to run day sets or anything of that nature. But it's just another tool of the trade.
It was very crazy. The Uncle
Joe. The Uncle Joe. Hold on.
It was insane. But just like the technology, and I'll even go back to like the sounds and the sequences that you guys are running out there. It was crazy to kind of, I don't know, like I said, it was my first time going out there and learning what you guys are doing every night and day in and day out. Right. It was a very interesting and intriguing thing to do.
Right.
That's for sure.
Yeah, and you can almost even relate it to bird calling, right? So if you don't have the right pitch, tone, sequence.
Well, that's what we talked about.
They turn around and fly the other way.
Yeah.
We talked about that night. Like, you just like birds coming in, you hit that one right note, and here they come back.
Yeah. Well, here's an instance. Friday night, on the Lucky Duck, there's a sound called Skulik. It's just a female howl, and she does a sequence, whatever. That worked for us on all 6 coyotes. I would play that. They would light up. We'd locate. We'd stalk them, and on all 6 coyotes, that's what we did. And so Saturday night, boom. We're not going to change nothing, right? Here we go. We go into Saturday night. We can see there's no fog. Oh, we're just amped right up. We go out there, play that call. Nothing. What the fuck? So finally, we get one to light up on one of our properties, and all right, cool. Let's stalk them. So we go in on them, and so we get in within 500 yards, and they turn around and bust out and go the other way.
The second we
What
lit
the
up another call, they turned around and left. I mean, it was ridiculous.
So how long? I mean, you guys are coming off of, like I said prior, or like when we were just starting the podcast, an absolute huge weekend for you guys and an absolute huge confident boost for you guys. How long? Excuse me. How long have you guys been like doing like this tournament or? I mean, you said you've been doing it for 6 years.
Yeah.
You guys have so much technology and all the crazy stuff that, going in it. How long and what was the confidence boost to get into the tournaments and like starting off, where were you guys sitting at and like the progression of to where you guys are now?
The drive, I guess, to hunt something that is hunting, I guess, is my biggest motive.
You're hunting something that's
an
hunting
apex
you.
predator, and nothing's guaranteed, just like any hunting. But you can go out, you see them, but you can't bring them in. But so, okay, what do I need to change? What do I need to, if you want to hold on to that? And, it's the drive. It's I got to keep going. Nothing's guaranteed.
Right.
So, coyotes have the greatest smell. Obviously, it's dark, so their sight's a little limited, So we always want to make sure we're not skylined. So we don't want to be standing on top of a ridge. We want to have a backdrop. Not saying that we haven't done it and killed, but the coyote might have been so focused on our call, because generally we always try to put our call upwind. So that coyote's going to have to circle down and around. So the coyote's so focused on the call, the noise, or the sound,
the call's making. Yeah.
It's going to circle downwind, or we're going to do a cross shoot, basically like with waterfowl. You're going to, and so that's just kind of how we always try to set up. Put the call upwind. Sometimes we'll put it 60, 70 yards. This last weekend it was so foggy, we literally put it at our feet.
And how much? I mean, like I was very surprised on how much detailed like observation you guys were putting on each property. Like, I named off a couple properties and we went out, and then you guys are, Onyx. I'm not trying to shout out Onyx or anything, but like you guys were like very detailed about like the property, the layout of the property. I mean, how are you guys like kind of picking out like this probably be the best spot to sit? Obviously, the wind's got a lot to do with it, but I mean, how are you guys able to determine like this is probably where the dogs are at? And
it's basically okay. Say your field's going to have some high points and low points. Generally, them coyotes are going to take the low line because they don't want to be silhouetted or seen. So they're going to run the ditch lines. You can have a 400 acre field that's wide open with a ditch through it, and they're going to come down that ditch. They may come downwind of your scent, but they're coming through that ditch. They want
to lay low.
They want to lay low. So we'll look on our on our phones with the Onyx. We'll look at the map. We'll look at the wind. Okay, the wind's coming out. Prevailing wind's generally southwest, but that weekend we went out. It was coming out of the northeast, which is perfect. We can walk in. They're never going to get our scent from that wood line.
Perfect for the spots that we were at.
Correct. Yep. And like this tournament, we
probably didn't hunt 25 spots.
Yeah. So
that kind of bit us in the ass at the end of the day.
Right.
We weren't able to hunt 25 of our spots because
we due to wind.
The wind was wrong.
We can't get out of the trucks. We can't stop because the wind's going to be blowing right towards them.
Shit. We pulled up to one spot. We literally were driving down the road, and Scott was like, "Hey, I'm gonna, grab the hand scanner, look out the window," and I so happened to hit mine and look over to the left, and there was a quad sitting there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And we were, as soon as I rolled my window down and we were stopped and the engine shut off with his truck, we were out of the game.
Right.
You know what I mean. And there was 4 coyotes standing there at 60 yards. And we were out of the game. The second I let my foot off the brake.
That stupid auto start.
Yeah, the auto start fired up.
Dang Fords.
Boom. Coyotes went fucking this way. We drove down the road this way, and we were out of the game.
No, and that was a big thing, too, which we had a question come in. And, that it was a big concern for me because, one, it was -6 degrees out when we went out that night, which obviously nothing was moving. But God, I hope we're not going to be sitting here for an hour or so. So, I mean, what's your typical, hunt in a buddy hunt compared to a tournament hunt? Like, what's your guys' sit process on that?
Typical buddy hunt. I mean, we stayed 45 minutes when we went out, and we only had a couple stands to sit that night, so I was like, well, let's.
Plus, it was freezing cold.
And we've had coyotes come in at the 50-minute mark. Right. It's just what triggers them. You can play sound back to back to back to back, and that last one triggers them, and they come in. Actually, Randall, I don't know if he's still watching that, but we went hunting, and we got skunked, and he's like, I can't give up. I'm gonna hit a spot on my way home, and
one
that
more
night?
cast.
yeah, not
night.
that. Another night, but
Okay.
he I don't know, at 6:30 in the morning, I'm getting a picture of a coyote. I'm like, you dropped me off at 4:30, like what the hell, and he was standing, he went out hunting. He gets out there, he's scanning. There was like 6-7 deer in the field, and there's a hot spot. Maybe it was a fawn, a small deer.
I remember the story now.
Laying down, and he's like, whatever, So he's scanning, plays through his whole sequence. Started to do some whimpers and whines, and the deer start running away. He's like, oh, coyote's coming. Well, all of a sudden, that thing that was laying on the ground, which is 100 yards from him, stands up and starts running at him.
It was a coyote.
That coyote was in the field for 45 minutes while he did his whole sequence.
Yeah, didn't give two shits about what he was playing.
He got out of his truck, probably made...
Bedded down.
Yep, bedded down.
In the middle of the field.
Yep, with the deer.
With the deer. In the middle of the deer.
Keep your friends close and keep your enemies close.
That's right.
Yes.
So stand-wise, buddy hunts, when we go out, we always want to hit a couple stands or, help a farmer out. Sometimes we'll do an hour.
45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And tournament time, we were average 25 to 30 minutes this last weekend, just with the fog. And then we had to keep stalking them. So some stands turned into an hour and a half because now we'd call, stalk. We shoot the coyotes. Fuck, now the truck's a mile back behind us.
Right.
And Pamela and Dave had to carry him.
Yeah. It's all right. Well, I got strong legs.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things too, where I with my two passions are the waterfowl hunting and the turkey hunting, right?
Yeah.
So I'll even bring in the turkey hunting wise with like the calling sequences or when to call, when not to call.
Right.
And you got to have your experience, I feel like.
Yeah, you got to make these the mistakes, right?
Right.
Before you can even learn to, hey, we're going to pressure these birds, right?
Right.
I mean,
well, and especially with turkeys and stuff, like you got to know the time of year and when to kind of get aggressive. I mean, what do you guys kind of look at like towards getting aggressive compared to?
Well, and that's the confusing part, right? Because we had Friday night into technically Saturday, right? We had a sequence. It worked, right? Mm-hmm. We knew we could call. We could vocalize, get them to talk. We knew we could close the distance between 100 to maybe 150 yards. We could run up that far, close the distance, vocalize again, and the coyotes would be reactive. And then next thing you know, they're in our lap. Exact same circumstance. The very next day, we did the exact same sequence, literally to a T, and the coyotes vacated. Like we ran from Friday to Saturday, we ran within 529 yards of a pair. And the second we lit off a second set of vocals, them coyotes looked up at where we were calling from, and they vacated. So I mean, it's like anything, like natural animals. Like, hey, today we're gonna fuck with you. Tomorrow we're not. You know what I mean? So that's what makes it that much more challenging.
Do you focus more on the nocturnal aspect of it?
Oh, 100%. We're always at night. We'll go from like an hour before dark, depending on if we have trail cams set on a couple of spots where we know they're frequent and, hey, we know coyotes are in the area. We're going to go here an hour before dark. Our deer spots, just like your deer spots,
Yeah. It's chance. It's chance during the day. It's chance during the day.
And I feel like every, like just like turkey hunting wise, every dog, every bird, every living animal has got that little bit of a different quirk to them.
Oh, for sure.
So one thing.
Let me stop you right there. The coyotes don't have that quirk. They don't roost in a tree.
No?
No, they sleep in the middle of a freaking field because we.
Yeah, but neither does a goose, though.
I'll give you I'll give you a one hell of a story.
Wood duck does.
Scott and I went and mowed a field in that same property that we got kicked off from. We mowed the freaking field on Thursday, mowed it down, right? Flood, rain's coming through. We went there on Saturday morning. There was a coyote sleeping on the ridge line. Sleeping. We pulled up to the top of the ridge, dead asleep. Rolled the windows down, pulled the binos out. I'm like, what the fuck is that? He's like, I don't know. And the coyote stands up, turns around, looks at us, and I was like, I'm fucking out of here. Took off running. That motherfucker was sleeping in the fresh cut shit. So, I mean, it's really hard. I mean, it makes what we do very complicated because, you know, like a lot of us turkey,
right?
You know,
that's why we keep on doing it, though, because like you like the being able to trick them, like to be able to like say like, oh, I wasn't planning on going over here, but yeah, I'm gonna go over here now,
right?
Like, and that's what kind of keeps you coming back.
But
you know,
who would have fucking thought a goddamn coyote would be sleeping in a fresh cut fucking CRP field,
right?
That we cut for birds,
right?
Is beside me. You know what I mean? It's like, why?
Well, I mean, even like that night that we went out, Scott, you know, it was, I think we hit 3 different spots, and you know, we didn't travel that far or anything, but how do you guys determine, like, you look at a field or a spot or whatever it may be, how do you look at a spot and see, yeah, that's probably got a lot of dogs on it, or this area is like really good? Like, what kind of things do you look at and like determine? Because even when Randall was out with us, he's like, oh, this is kind of the spot where I've been wanting to go all night. You know, like what kind of determines that for you guys?
Food.
Well, you got
for me.
Food
for me.
We'll look at local housing. There you go. Local housing. Okay, do they have chickens? Do they have goats? Do they have any type of livestock around them? That property has a creek running through it. Mm-hmm. So we're like, okay, you know, the coyote's going to run that creek. Low lines, bushes. Coyotes love to go from woodlot to woodlot. And then there's a low line between, and it could be half mile, quarter mile apart. And they'll travel that, you know, run back and forth. That one that you hunt.
Yeah, I think the first one.
Yeah. No, the one that you waterfowl hunt. They will run from that woodlot underneath the road, and they would come into our field. And
which one are we talking about?
You have the blind out in the field.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Okay. So they'll run from that woodlot to ours, and that used to be our hottest field. We could go there at 3 a.m.
I know what tough field
on the dot, and we could get there
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the morning.
2 to 3 o'clock. We could get there.
We get coyotes would be there. Yeah. 2 o'clock in the morning. You don't hunt it from 10 o'clock to you.
The ditch blind field?
Huh?
The ditch blind field?
Yeah.
Okay.
They go from that woodlot to the woodlot north on the other side of the street. Yeah.
Well, because I was going to talk to him too to see, because he's got multiple properties, and I want to say we talked about this that night because he's got properties on the other side. We'll talk about it after the fact.
We're not giving locations or names of the farmers.
Yeah, we're gonna kick ass on fucking birds here soon.
But yeah, so that's
week.
something we'll look for. We'll look for is, you know, low lines, ditches. Basically, woodlots is one of our biggest.
Where their food's at? Where are they eating? Where are they gonna hang? Right
south of that.
Their natural habitat to where they're gonna find food, and where they're gonna hang out. You know, where are they going to find rabbits? Where are they going to find mice, right? So spring are primarily, not mine, but primarily in the spring, we're going to go and cut fucking winter wheat, right? So they cut that, and mice
winter
are out there.
Insane.
Oh, that's it's like, shoot, that's awesome.
Which this year,
catch your fish in a barrel.
Not to cut you off or anything, but like this year is going to be very tough for the winter wheat because of how wet of a fall we had.
Right. Yeah, they can't put the seed out.
I could put on one hand how many winter wheat fields that I've seen. It's going to be very slow, but I will say the field that about the raccoons, that's winter wheat this year.
Let's go shoot them.
So
I got two. I have 2 setups now, so
Whatever comes in, I want to die.
You have an opportunity to stand behind another gun because I got 2 of them now.
Well, I would love that because I mean it was obviously one thing.
Uncle Joe wants to go stand behind the gun too.
It was obviously awesome for the first time to go out with
I would love to.
Scott and Randall.
Good, Corey. With Corey, real quick. What's more frustrating, livestock or deer in the field? I would say livestock.
Dumb enough not to move.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, I got a video. I'll show you guys of Dave getting chased
Bullshit.
by cattle.
Yeah, fuck off. You laughed your ass off.
I had to video it because I was like, he's gonna die.
All of a sudden, Joe's doing his FaceTime video, his selfie, and all of a sudden, oh, here's Dave, and then flips it over, and then there's Dave running across the field.
I was about to get run the fuck over.
Well, we're sitting there.
Seriously.
We saw the cattle way off in the pasture. We're like, they're okay. So we walk, call out about 80 yards. We're sitting there. We're playing rabbit in distress. It's going to town.
Yeah, cows come closer.
Here come the cows.
Yeah,
they're walking, and then here come
coming.
3 horses. They're galloping. We're like, huh.
What the fuck?
We're on the outside of the fence.
We're such curious.
Yeah, and so we're like, huh, that's weird. So I shut it off, and now they're within 20 yards of the call. They don't know where it's at, but they're in
The vicinity.
Yeah, and we're like,
hanging out.
I'm like, well, we're busted now. Let's keep calling. I laid off some pup distress, and those cows were stomping that whole area trying to find that call.
Almost destroyed.
I'm like,
there's
a $1,000 call out there.
cows
I'm shutting it off. Yeah.
No, they
Well, I
were
feel like
on the
they're-
verge
Yeah.
of beating the shit out of the call.
Well, I feel like the cows.
Was there a bull in the
No,
No,
you don't have any
they,
bulls.
they usually don't.
Yeah. So
Switch those
I'm like,
together.
shit. So I shut that thing off, and we wait. They kind of mosey away about 20, 30 yards, and
He looks at me as like, we gotta get
I'm
the
not
call.
going. I told Dad, I says, we'll get that call tomorrow. I'll go get it. So he hops
So
over
fuck
the
them
fence.
them cows. I'll go get that motherfucker.
So he walks out there. I'm gonna find this video, and he gets out there. He gets about 10 yards from it, and here they come. The ground shaking. I'm like, I got video of this through my scope. I'm watching it.
Hey, these motherfucking cows
You hear
stomped
him.
my ass.
You hear him.
I said, you play a fucking siren, dude. I said,
Guns
dude,
loaded. He's
something.
following.
You're in the
Yeah.
the hoof
And I had to walk backwards. Like,
Are
if
you
I
Joe's
turned-
brother?
Yeah. He's got a
Dude,
pen. He's got a pen light.
I
And
wish.
he's like, shining them.
Dude, anytime I turned my back to the fucking cows and the horses, they were ready to beat my ass.
Oh.
That's weird.
So to answer your question there, Corey.
Livestock.
Yeah, livestock. Livestock.
How hard is it for you guys? Like, which bird hunting? Obviously, it's very tough for us to get like the horses. Like, if somebody owns horses, is it hard for you guys as well to get permission with people with horses?
No, I think it's easier, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, at night the horses go and they sleep in the
stalls,
stables.
yeah.
And stalls.
I got a video, same pasture. We shot a coyote, and the horses went over there and stomped on it.
Really?
I mean, they were about 20 yards away. We shot, and the coyote did
Shot
its
the
little
coyote,
spin, and
they
it
went
ran over there, and
and
it
beat
started
the fuck
stomping
out
on
of
it.
the coyote.
So, out of curiosity wise, you guys are doing these big tournaments and stuff like that. How far are you guys traveling for tournaments like
Yeah,
that?
tournament. This went back to earlier when we started this podcast. We try and get Bob.
Field,
We got Bob Joe's property here. We want Cindy, Sally, and Susie's property all around them, because if the coyotes vocalize, in a tournament, we don't have time for them to come to us. We're going to them. So we're gonna jump back in the truck. We're gonna go a mile around, get to the woodlot they're in, and get up on them. Because here's a instance. This tournament, we were at a property. We vocalized. We had a male, just a raspy son of a bitch, vocalize territorial. Like, this is my area. You're not coming over here.
Right.
And then
Probably would have won us the tournament.
Yeah, we would've-
by the way. It would have.
it would have put us at least second. Yeah.
For the size wise?
Yeah,
Size
because it was
was
5 heaviest.
44-pound male. Because the guys that had permission for across the street
Someone
shot
did shoot it.
Well, so we call out this thing, we move in on it, and then three other ones light up, and then he lights up. So they're talking like, hey, we're going to protect our area. Well, they're not coming to us. They're not crossing the street. So we've been here 45 minutes. Let's go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
We get in the
don't
truck.
have time.
Well,
timing's
yeah.
everything.
yeah.
Tournament-wise,
Tournaments.
Yeah, it's go.
tournament-wise, Timing is everything.
And so we get back in the truck. Well, we get to check in, and the guys that we know that have permission for that property, they go, dude, we killed a monster. I'm like, You're welcome.
As soon as Dad drove us in there, and
Yeah,
fucking,
they drove in there, set the call out, let one call, and 4 of them come running at them. It was the 4 that we called.
No
and so what
kidding.
happened was
The
is
edge of the property you were hunting.
yep.
Yeah.
What happened was
they closed the distance.
we went silent.
Yep.
So then them coyotes said, okay, they're gone. Well, then when they vocalize in their bubble, because coyotes have their bubbles, they said, oh hell no, we're coming to kick your ass. Well, that big male come charging in and whacked them.
So what makes you kind of like hush up and like be vocal? Like what do you look for that?
You always got to be vocal because you need to know where they're at.
Yep.
So you gotta run your mouth. So it's like
Talking trash.
if you relate it to like a schoolyard fight, you gotta you gotta go out there and run your mouth.
Okay.
Right. Find out where they're at. All right. Throw the first punch. You find out where they're at, and then you gotta close your distance.
And then you might not have the aggressive coyotes like that. So then you run whimpers and whines and fights. So then you get the curiosity. Okay, if there's going to be a fight outside the bar, guess what? We're going to go watch
Yeah,
it.
we draw the drunk motherfuckers over.
And that's
Oh, Uncle Joe's fighting outside. I'm gonna go out
no,
there and watch
it's
it.
those are the non-matriarchs. Those are the younger, those. What's he smoking over there?
Yeah. What you got for me over there?
It's just one of those things where I mean,
And it could change.
it's such a difference like compared to what I'm used to with all type of hunting, because like when we take guys out turkey hunting, you might hit one property, there's no birds hammered or anything, and then there's a shit ton of birds over there, but you go to the next property and there might be 2 or 3 times that you know of, and they're just on fire right there. It's crazy. But now I feel bad because of the fact that in my opinion, which I could be completely wrong on this, but like at least 2 of the 3 properties that we hit the one night, I feel like could have been very top notch for that tournament that we like.
Yeah.
That,
for sure.
we're going to hunt them this time.
Yeah. What was your?
Why are you feeling bad? The turkeys are not.
Because he called me and I was like, I'll ask about it, but like it's just one of those things where
It's a permission thing.
Yeah.
Like he has permission, so like we can't, like Scott and I can't go drive and hunt that.
Oh, are you
property.
talking about the same property but for turkey and
no, time out. So
time out.
I went out, or Scott texted me like, hey, when are you free? I said this Friday or whatever happened. This
Sure.
Friday,
Sure.
let's go. So I get 3 properties lined up. We go hunt the 3 properties that I have. But I think out of the 3 properties that I have that we went to that night would have been beneficial for them in that tournament.
But he has to be there.
I got to be there. Or
the
the problem is, though, the owners don't know Scott. They know me. So I got to be there. And I think I had a birthday party or something that
We'll have
night.
to take him some walleye.
Hey, don't be telling secrets now, all right? Come on. No. They don't like walleye.
No, we're on that. Hey, I'm gonna look at you and tell you we're on the same fucking team.
They like carp, okay? They like carp.
No.
Try to take them carp.
Bro,
No,
do
we're
you
on the
fish?
same- Hell yeah, I fish.
You walleye jig?
I jig.
You jig the D?
Yeah, oh yeah. Jigging the
I know
D.
somebody that makes really.
Religiously?
Yeah.
I
like it.
I know somebody that makes really good jigs for walleye.
Hey, I'm in.
I know that guy too, but he's a little expensive. Actually, he
I'll tell
says
you
10%
right now-
discount on this podcast.
Oh shit.
I do.
10%? Come on.
Right now, I'll tell you.
75%, 75 cents a head.
Everything I catch, I give away. I don't eat fish. I don't eat anything.
We
But
still
eat
fish.
it.
You still
No,
The
I
tug
love
is the
catching
drug.
fish, man. I catch them and use them for trade bait.
We eat them, but yeah, it's
For me, I don't eat shit. I don't
want
eat
salmon?
anything that lives in water. So that's for me. I catch them, clean them, and that's literally my trade bait for permission.
right on.
Walleye.
Walleye goes a long
No.
way.
Corey said salmon's the trick, apparently.
Oh, Corey,
Hey,
I love
Corey.
you, Corey. I'm a salmon guy. I'm a salmon
Corey,
guy.
I'm so mad we didn't kill on your spot, buddy.
Corey, stay after the podcast because Joe's got some great stories about some O-rings
I'll
and bilge
take
pumps.
I'll
and we're
take you
good to
salmon
go.
fishing.
Hey, Corey's
The old
Corey's
bilge
got
pump?
salmon.
The old
Corey's
bilge
got some
pump?
salmon spots, man.
Corey, that's how much ammo we used for this tournament.
I mean, Corey gave us. We got to give a shout out to Corey. He gave us
Shout out to Corey.
Hey, shout out to Corey. He gave us like 4 or 5 spots, and we weren't physically able to hunt them, or we didn't hunt them, and they probably would have produced.
Well, if I look back at my notes, we killed at 2 of his spots last year.
2 of his spots. Yeah.
You keep notes?
Oh yeah.
No, Corey throws us properties.
That's what we killed on
Aw.
there. So for example, last year during the same exact tournament, we killed on two vocals and 5 food.
First, second, third, fourth.
It's
fifth,
kind of an
sixth.
awesome thing though, because I started doing that this year on even like my scouting, which it's very hard for my scouting because I'm doing
That's
it 5 times
incriminating
a day.
evidence.
But no, that's not incriminating.
I always write on here like Dave misses and
That's incriminating evidence. See?
I call bullshit. I don't
Yeah.
miss.
Pamela saved our ass. You know, shit like that.
But no, I mean,
Truck got stuck
it's
in the
one
See
of
my
those-
waterfowl log. Oh, that one's fun.
It's one of those things though where like I started doing it this year, which like I said, it's very hard for me to do it every single day, like seeing bird after bird after bird in certain fields. But like my whole goal with that though is over time. I mean, what kind of is in your log there, Scott? I mean, because I had wind, weather. I mean, just everything.
Yeah. Sometimes I get lax, but like at the top of
So off the top of
It's 2021.
so the start of
2023.
Great Lakes tournament, I wrote the temperatures 26 degrees. Felt like the pressure, the windy.
Oh, he's got the bear. What
Yeah.
does the barometric pressure have to do with the coyotes?
they move high pressure.
Just like deer.
Just like fish
deer.
and everything else?
Yeah.
Really?
They
So
move.
that's
They move.
Even birds. People don't even think
Yes.
about that
Oh,
with birds.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
it's
do.
crazy.
They do.
Well, I've only focused on that on fish.
and
No, it's
and you want
everything.
and we found you want cloudy nights. You don't want clear nights because they won't come out into the big open fields.
So would they call that a bluebird night?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey,
Absolutely.
and then
That was a good one, Joe.
Yeah, that's a
that was a
good
good one.
one.
How long did you think of that one for?
Boom, boom.
20
He's been
yeah.
holding it in his
Did you
back
go to
pocket
Carlson?
over there.
Did you go to Carlson High School?
No,
Right.
I did not. What
from our experience, people think, oh, coyotes howl on a full moon. Well, they do, but they won't come out into the open field.
They want you to come to you.
Yeah. Well,
Check this watch out though.
It's low light.
I just put
Yeah.
the moon phase.
But he
on my
can't
watch.
see
I
it 'cause
have
his
it on
glasses-
mine too.
Just so I know.
Can't see
I
it
have
though.
the moon phase on my watch also.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's just some things we write down sequences. Here's all our properties. So when we're in the truck driving, we just run down the list, and then like I said, we
And
only
what
hunt,
we use.
we didn't hunt any of these this year. It just those were our kind of secondhand ones, and then I kind of write a little dialogue of
Is
what
the year over?
no it's year round.
All right.
That was just for that
Then
tournament.
don't give up yet.
Oh, I ain't giving up.
yeah. What?
No.
Joe,
But
it's
for that tournament,
February. The year just started.
yeah,
Dude, they're about to start humping.
yeah. Oh, they're humping.
Yeah, they're humping
yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it's
Yeah.
February.
Their
The year just
tails, their
started.
tails are peaked right
I
now.
want to. They're gonna come to. I wish there was ice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, Corey,
I would have them come in my front yard, and they can call them out of the quarry.
Ooh, that'd be good.
well, I feel like we need to go hunt that spot. I got
I
two
feel like
guns.
In the canoe.
I feel like
I'll
besides
put the boat in the water, and
bes-
we'll take the boat.
besides the night that me and Scott went out,
They'll come right.
You know,
to
we're
the
there's-
we're not shooting balloons, Corey.
there's so many different spots and opportunities that I have to go out to the different like locations and stuff. I mean, we almost hunted a junkyard that night, but it was just nothing was moving.
yeah,
and nothing was
we're not
going
going to
on.
waste our time. in the
But
cold.
like we had so many opportunities and spots. I mean, on the proper night, I feel like we would have absolutely murdered. But another question I have for you guys is, you guys are starting the tournaments and stuff like that. It's got to be kind of such a man. I'm the little guy starting these things off. How did you kind of grow on that aspect
yeah,
of everything?
we were our first tournament. We did with red lights, and
That's what Trav did. The other
we
owner of this company.
we come into this tournament, and we're talking to guys that check in, and our farthest coyote was 450 yards, and we're shooting at 300 yards, and we're like, we can't even see 80 yards with our red light and scope, know. And one of our properties, we called in 5 dogs. He lays one
And down us property.
Yeah, he calls one in, he shoots it, and it was just like, we think we shot it, but we can't tell because it just falls over in corn stalks. But
Right.
and then it evolved, and then my competitiveness says, you know what, I'm gonna get a thermal. Dave's like, no, you're not. About a week later, I'm sitting in the crane, and I sent him a screenshot of the shipper, and he goes, "You motherfucker."
Yeah.
ATN on the way.
No, Pulsar, no ATNs.
Oh, you
No.
Pulsar?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't want
jump
to shoot
ATM.
cows.
Yeah, that's the going joke.
Yeah,
for
that's a going
ATN.
joke.
Yeah, because you can't positively ID anything with. I mean,
I'm sure you can, but we're just Pulsar, and so it's just that's what kind of drove us was okay. We see what these guys are doing. They're bringing in 10 to 15, 20 dogs on these check-ins. We're like, we didn't even see that many. We didn't hear that many, and so okay, what do we need to do? We need to get properties. We need to get more resources.
Technology.
We need the equipment. So here we go. We buy better guns. We buy buy the
Better
thermals.
scopes,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, shit. And then my thing is, we're driving down the road, and now we're constantly your guns are swinging. I'm like,
Scanner,
I'm buying a
yeah.
scanner.
Yeah.
So last year at check-in, or we were checking in
2 years ago.
2 years? 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
We're at the Great Lakes checking in, and he lets me go into the gift shop, and I'm like, oh, they got a hand scanner there.
Yeah, 4,200 later.
Shut up! I think my wife's.
Oh, I don't. Is it Monica?
Mama Bear already
this one.
knows.
No,
We're
she-
2 years out.
no,
she
she's
knows.
sleeping.
She's seen that credit card bill.
No, she
No,
didn't.
she's sleeping.
Yeah, she's sleeping now. She ain't listening this far in.
Yeah, $4
Anyways.
grand later, you got a hand scanner.
So, but it's the same as my scope. So I can, you're seeing phenomenal
visual,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, you're
Same
seeing
vi-
things.
You drop that and shoulder it.
Hey,
Yep,
and
I
I'll
got
cut you
same
off right
image.
now. If anybody that does deer, turkey, anything else, raccoon, buy
Joe,
a
put your
fucking-
hand down. It says 4 in here.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Put a,
It's a
buy
fine,
a
dude.
fucking hand scanner because you literally
look at all
can
the
walk
guys
to your
putting their hands
stand.
up.
Yeah. You can literally walk to your stand and know every single thing that is alive around you.
Really?
Like,
Okay, so here's a top question for you. Not trying to incriminate you or anything, but like, so say you're deer hunting or you're turkey
I
hunting.
gotta go.
Yeah. Say you're deer hunting or
Uncle
turkey
Joe's
hunting. You're walking up to your stand or whatever. If you're using that, is that legal?
yeah, totally legal. Totally.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
As long as it's
100%.
not on a drone.
Yep. Totally legal.
As long as
I
it's not
literally,
on a
when I
drone.
walk out to my deer stand, I know where every turkey, raccoon, deer is before I get in my stand.
Really?
Yes. It's a huge advantage. Shit, I went to my deer stand this year. I ID'd a coyote and I let it run in front of me. It went out in the middle of the field. It bark howled at me. I went and got in my saddle. Boom. I'm sitting in my saddle. The fucking coyote bark howled at me for forever. And I had goddamn turkeys roosted 25 yards from me. And I could
That's-
see everything that was living around me.
That's one thing. Like even that spot, I don't know if you remember this. That the first spot we went to, I was like, man, it's kind of a sketchy spot to go to. It's got like that gray area spot. We've had it so many times where the turkeys are roosted right above us and stuff and going absolutely nuts. But there's been coyotes right below us
At the base of them. Yeah. They're
And-
going to wait for them to fucking come out of roost.
which
and-
obviously they're smart animals.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing it for a reason. But
I think they eat the poop.
what?
I think they eat the turkey poop. I noticed that a lot too underneath the roosts.
Jesus Christ,
Wait,
Joe.
what?
The coyotes eat the turkey poop.
All right. That's a good theory.
Uh,
I'm in. I'm in.
I've watched it happen. I've
If it
dug a
tastes like
hole.
shit, if it smells like shit, and
It
if it
must
feels
be.
like shit, it's gotta be shit.
Got it.
back booted a hole. I'm not a big guy shitting
You
under
had
my
to
seat.
poop
I had
real
to go. I
It's
had
only
to go.
used during hunting.
And the next day I come up, I lost my boxers and a sock.
Damn.
See, I don't cut my t-shirts.
I got a
I'll-
sock and a
I'll-
sleeve. That's
yeah.
all I got.
I
If
come
not,
back
I'm
the next
going home.
morning, and them coyotes dug up where I poop.
Your shit.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
So that's why you think they eat turkey shit?
No, I do see. I do
Maybe they
notice
wanted
the
some
same
corn.
thing where you got them. Your usual suspects, them birds that roost in the same tree for a year. Year and year.
Yeah. Yeah, they're creatures
I
of
sit in
habit.
the stand and I watch them
Yeah.
come in.
Coyotes,
And there's-
turkeys, deer, they're all creatures of habit.
No different
Even-
than a dove underneath the pine tree. You never seen a dove poop underneath the pine tree?
No.
No,
No.
because I feel like doves
No.
are so small. Like it's gonna be like a
All right, so
quarter of a Hershey Kiss.
yeah, well, it's bright white.
You ever seen this dog shit? I'll tell you that. I mean, it's a giant turd in the yard.
Man, I'm so confused by your antics.
Oh, no.
Joe's got an idea, dude. I'm telling you.
Hey, it probably works.
Pamela says her dog.
Feces, I think the feces draw them in, and they will
Right.
work that tree. They will work around that
Right.
tree while they're roosting. They will not stay there. But there's multiple times that I'm in there in the morning before the sun comes up. And
Oh, he's waving his hand. Wave your hand, Joe.
no.
Oh, you're good.
Dude,
And I'll see the
Yeah.
the coyotes come in and work that tree.
I'll tell you a story with
And then
my
there's no-
sister. We had a 140-inch buck, right, on a property.
Do you guys pee on your scrapes?
What's that?
You pee in your scrapes?
I pissed
Yes,
on,
sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
At
I did
least
that
it
too,
does-
but I also felt like an idiot doing it because like I didn't see another deer after that. So I just went.
No, it actually
'Cause
adversely.
I just got into deer hunting like after 5 years of not doing it. Like this year was my first year.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, but
Yeah.
I just had to ask that.
No, adversely, I pissed in all my mock scrapes, and it works.
What about a real? Like what about not even a mock scrape? Like a real scrape?
No, I made, and so for me, I only
And they
pissed-
tore it up.
and they
and they
tore it up.
tore
I
it
made it. I made
What are you guys
my own
drinking?
strike.
Monster, Red Bull.
It don't matter. It could be orange juice.
It's like Juneberry.
It's ammonia.
Some food.
And
shit.
the human
it's-
scent,
yes, it's
the
ammonia.
human scent is gone. Once you take a pee,
Yeah, they're
within 5 to
triggered to
10
the
minutes,
ammonia.
yeah, the human scent's there.
Yeah.
But once 5 to 10 minutes, the human scent is gone, and then it's just like any other urine. It's the ammonia.
Yeah.
Urine. Okay, urine.
So for me,
Urine.
urine.
no. So I didn't piss in that particular day. I didn't piss in the scrape, but my sister was on a 140, and like she was full draw on that buck, right? And there was one branch on the pine tree, so I went and made a mock scrape with
A licking branch above
yeah,
it?
synthetic mock scrape bullshit. Broke the branch. Now every freaking picture I get, the bucks are going right to where I put my
Still or
hands.
no?
Yes, still.
Really?
To this day. I can show you. I'll pull up. I mean, it's on live, but I'll pull up pictures right now to where the bucks
Can
are
you drop a
going.
pin for everybody that's watching?
No.
I've
I've got enough trespasser fucking pressure there. That's actually the spot where I had somebody steal my trail cam, GPS trail cam. I sent out a bunch of text messages like, look, put it back.
Happens a lot because like the guy that we talked about earlier. I don't know if you remember about happens a lot during turkey season.
Yeah, they take your shit, and it's like, look, hey, you turn the motherfucker back on, I get a pin where you're at.
Right.
So I sent out text messages for that particular spot and was like, hey, look, the second you turn it back on,
Give
I
me
know
my
where you're
shit.
at. Yeah. I said, look, just put it back. I went back there a week later. Camera was at the base of the tree.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe. Do you have any more questions for these guys?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay. What's your question, Joe?
My question is, what are we doing? Actually, this Saturday, what are we doing this weekend? Can I join? And
Nothing like inviting yourself.
I'm going to invite myself. I'm going to put more walleye
Yeah, I
in the
got
freezer
two.
than they know what to do with.
I got
So-
2 guns, so I got
Well,
one you can pull the trigger on.
I got a cross. It has to do with guns.
Where
I
we hunting?
got a drone. We can film it.
We can't use the drone, Joe. Uncle
Man,
Joe.
I so want to use
Do you have
the
a
drone.
thermal drone?
No.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
I do
Uncle
have,
Joe, we can go
I
pull
do
up
have a
to where-
fancy drone, everything but the thermal. But I can buy a new lens.
I wonder if we could put the hand scanner on it.
Oh,
I could.
What's
got
it?
crab
Bluetooth to
claws
your
on
phone?
it.
Yeah, but I don't know how.
Okay, let's talk about this after because like
Uncle Joe, we got.
We're just kidding.
I got
But
2 guns. Yes. If
Are
you wanna
you
hunt
guys
this
a big
weekend.
Detroit
yeah.
walleye?
Yeah.
river?
Yep.
So you're
Yep. So we can go to 2 Rocks. We can go to wherever you want.
where?
2 Rocks. You ain't never jig 2 Rocks.
they probably just got a different name than we do.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You,
All right,
We're you know where we're at. We're the lower section.
we're south of town.
Yeah. You go.
Oh, you
Trent
guys are
Channel.
more south of us?
No.
No,
No.
he's saying we're south of town right now compared to what they're fishing
Yeah.
usually.
No, we did.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They're north. No.
You just say you're south of town. Hey, where you hunting? I'm south of town.
Always.
Okay.
Always
I get it.
south
All
of
right.
town.
Sweet.
Do you guys have any more questions for us, or any
No.
more like things that you guys want to bring up, or that we
Hey,
missed?
can I hunt with you? Because we've been lacking on fucking bird permission.
Yeah, of course. I literally just got off the phone with
If
farmer.
we get
yesterday.
a deep freeze, I think I don't know what
So we have 2 more weeks
the weather.
left.
I know. If we get a freeze and the marsh locks up in front of my house, so
South of town.
Yeah,
South
so it is.
yeah,
south
yeah,
side.
actually, this is South Town.
Uncle Joe
So,
lives in
I shaved my
Toledo,
cat,
by
right?
the
So we
way.
had to cut the cat's hair. I had a big bag of cat hair, and then I had a bunch of bluegill and perch scraps. So I walked out on the ice.
Hey, Casey, sometimes
and
you
I
gotta do
dumped
that,
the cat
okay?
hair, right? So
Right.
and I put the gills on top of it. Oh my God! They sucked them out of the quarry.
What did?
The coyotes.
Oh,
Cat
Talking about shooting birds. I want to shoot some
Well,
birds.
no,
we gotta give
I will literally tell everybody this.
Well, I'll
I
take you beaver trapping. You guys
do-
do beavers?
tell everybody
I
this.
love the beaver.
Anybody that wants to come out with us, you guys are always more than welcome. Hell, the one day you missed out on the one day for
Well,
sure.
I just watched from the truck. Man, I want to be out there.
Well, the one day I called Scott, or I texted Scott. I think it probably was a little bit late, but I think it was the day that you seen the dog running after him. I think we
Right.
shot like 11-man limit of mallards that
Yeah.
day or whatever. But I will literally take anybody out. My biggest thing is finding people that appreciate the sport in itself and the passion behind it, because you can never find like a lot of the guys nowadays where it's like, oh, we only shot a 7-man limit. Why couldn't we shot a 11-man or whatever it may
Right.
be? It's like,
FOE,
Just
fishing
just-
over everything.
whatever, Joe. But no, I appreciate you guys
Yeah.
coming out tonight.
Give a
Yeah,
shout
thank
out
you.
to
was gonna
Uncoiled
say,
Firearms
Anybody
for
you guys want to shout out? Go for it.
Uncoiled Firearms for all our support with sponsoring us. And if you got any questions or concerns about coyotes, having issues, look up Uncoiled Predator Team or iCoyote on Facebook, Instagram.
I
Pretty much,
coyote.
yeah.
iCoyote.
iCoyote, yeah.
Or Uncoiled.
Uncoiled, yeah.
They're out of Livonia. If you need anything, you can even go
Guns,
shoot.
ammo.
You can go shoot machine guns there too.
Yeah, they
You want to shoot a machine gun?
suppressed machine guns.
Okay, this brings up another question. Right now. What is your guys' end goal with the coyotes? Obviously, you want to kill as many as you possibly can, but like for like you guys have to have a hunting group, no?
Yeah, we got Scott, Pamela, myself.
But like,
and
you guys have a name for like
I'm
yourself,
about
though?
to sign up.
iCoyote.
iCoyotes
Okay, so
are
what's-
group of 3.
What's your guys' like? Is there an end goal for you guys, or is there just kind of just we're
Ultimately
we're
is we've already placed in tournaments, this tournament. So I mean, that's a high right there. But to be number one is awesome. Would be our end goal. But to just strive every year and learn and just keep going.
Have you
gonna,
guys
TV
hunted
shows or
Ohio?
anything, though?
I mean, you
Have
never
you
know where.
guys-
You never know. I'd be
Out of
thought-
state? Have you done any Ohio, Southern?
That's no. I'd love to go out west.
With the
What's the
squeakers? Ohio.
No, you mentioned the out-of-state stuff.
Yeah.
Mike.
Mike Jennings, the other guy on our
Jennings,
team, he
yeah.
just hunted the deer Arcus or whatever it's called, out of Ohio. He's
Ohio's
that guy's
big.
yeah.
That
He
guy,
he goes all over. He hunts
goes
every
all
weekend
over.
from
But there's a million guys in that.
yeah. There was like 198 teams in that one.
No, Mike's a good damn
Yeah,
hunter.
he's a precision shooter. He travels all over Timbuktu shooting coyotes. But yeah, he's our traveler of the team, I would say.
Yeah,
He's going to Pennsylvania, I think, this weekend or next weekend. I don't know, just for another tournament.
Steelhead fishing, I hope.
No,
he's
coyotes.
going to shoot coyotes.
He hunts coyotes like 3 months straight every weekend.
I mean, is that something that you guys are wanting to do as like a group? Because I mean,
It'd
as you
be-
guys are growing, obviously you guys are growing bigger and bigger and bigger, which I should have asked this earlier. But I mean, is that a thing where you guys want to travel and maybe, start a YouTube or a TV?
That'd
or
be awesome. But
something.
to start all that, it's just a lot of luggage. We tried doing the whole filming thing and the camera,
It's tough.
the editing
It's
is what
very
kicks
hard.
our
They ain't got
ass.
time for that. They're killing dogs.
I deal with that with even our bird hunting. Like
Right.
it's very hard to be able to get the exact shots that people want. The kill shots is like the biggest thing, and when you're in the moment, like you don't have time to be sitting back. And
Yeah,
just
I mean,
And-
with
and
even
I
what you're
will say
saying-
I will say this though, with coyote hunting, deer hunting and bird hunting, too low of light. I can't see. They're shooting them at night.
Yeah, we're shooting
You can
at
see
night.
I can see
you
better.
see
Thermal.
all
You can see
day.
better at
there's a
night.
cheese,
Look at
Danny.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We-
Well,
yeah.
like Corey just said,
If it's red, it's dead.
Pretty soon, our kids are going to be, so that's going to be the next thing is bringing our kids into it. I got 7 and a 4-year-old and, and then we got the nieces and nephews and his little girl and little man.
Little man's 4 months old. And
so that's what's going to be awesome is bringing
4 months old. So in like 7 years, can I rent them for the early U season?
Hey, yes, absolutely. Right. Hey, I got a 6-year-old girl too, and Scott's got a 7-year-old.
Yeah, so those two will be out.
And just make sure we're smacking some bands.
That's one thing that I listened to a podcast previously, and the guy was like, I just want to do, obviously I want to win the Worlds for goose calling, but I want to do a duo with me and my boy, and that's like my goal at the end of it all. You know what I mean? It's just, there's so many different levels of what's going on, and even for the podcast game, for us, I'm getting the knowledge from you guys, I'm getting knowledge off of everybody I'm getting in here. We talked about it prior to this where, like, it's not about the views. It's not about, like, anybody that says, like, they don't want the followers is lying. Everybody wants followers. Everybody wants them watching or knowing the brand or whatever it may be. But in the long run is being able to, like...
Not to cut you off, Kyle, like you did me a couple times. So what's your end goal?
Just to be able to know as much knowledge as I possibly can. Because there's so many different ways of hunting or different like packages, like the turkey or the
turkeys. You got deer,
coyote, turkey, whatever it may be. But anybody else you guys want to shout out?
Our wives.
Yes, you don't get in trouble.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like the tournament game is extreme. So, like for me personally, I had 2.5 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 days. So for my fiance Anya to not only take care of our 4-month-old and a 6-year-old,
you need a special woman at home.
Yeah, special, very, very special. And I know Scott's got 2 young ones too, and his young boy, with his health, it's on edge all the time. So having the support from our family is huge,
right?
We're like, it doesn't seem like it, and we can.
If it wasn't for that, you wouldn't be doing it.
We're obsessed. Yeah. Like me and Scott call each other all the time. Like, hey, what do you think about this property? Like, hey, where can we go over here? How do we circumvent this one problem? Because we don't have a permission for here. So if the coyotes are here, how do we circumvent that? Like,
right. That's I'll even top that with even like our bird hunting with like, come August, I'm scouting extreme. 5 days a week, and nobody understands the time and effort that it goes into like the hunting and
all they see is pictures of birds. You know what I mean? And everybody sees like just at the end of the day, hey, I coyote / uncoiled finished 5th, right? Like, all right, they don't understand the amount of dedication, door knocking,
windshield
effort.
time.
Yeah, windshield
fucking
time.
Windshield time each.
No, the only reason here, I will say
I don't know
now,
how he doesn't have 10,000 miles a week on
I'm going to give Scott all the credit that he is due. Scott drove all the fuck over southeastern Michigan the last couple months.
Is that your Dodge out there?
He got us 12 more properties. We killed 4 out of our 6 properties on the new permission we had. So it takes that. And if the guy, like anybody that was in that tournament that goes in there and says, oh, these guys are cheating or this, that, the other thing. No, they didn't put in the fucking effort.
Right.
You didn't go get new permission. You didn't go talk to the next
dogs,
person.
Pressured dogs.
Yeah, the pressured dogs. You have to go above and beyond what everybody else is doing.
Every new spot, every new spot we got. Oh, please, would you shoot these coyotes? They're keep me up at night. So they're uncalled to. They're not pressured. So that was our best ones.
I'll tell you one thing.
We'll keep going and going and going.
Yeah, no, I know. I'll tell you one thing before we end it, and I name our sponsors off, but to have a partner in your group to be able to understand the time and effort that you put in, Scott,
and vice versa,
is insane. No, for sure. But to be able to understand like the time and effort that each other put in, because on the road you're away from your family even more than you even want to be, and a lot of people don't understand that.
No, not at all.
Very lucky to have that. But, to end it all off, I really appreciate all three of you, Cancer Joe, for your first time coming onto a podcast. Dave, it was very nice to meet you. Scott, I really appreciate you guys coming out, and especially after the big weekend that you guys just had. I just want to say a big shout out to Migra Ammunition. You guys are big turkey hunters. They're coming out with a brand new turkey load this year.
Myers
Is going to be absolutely killer. We're going to be shooting it all year. We've been shooting the bird load, like it's Migra's drop dead. I don't know what you guys shoot now, but
I'm shooting that now from now on.
I'm telling you what, you guys will definitely see a difference in the kill ratio and everything compared to what you're shooting.
Do they have
now.
a coyote load?
Not yet, but I guarantee you I can talk them into it, though.
Let's
guarantee
Let's do it. Let's
it.
shotgun some coyotes.
But then gator decoys, you guys are using your Mojo sticks out in the water or whatever it may be. They got extendable poles. You just unscrew it. There's no more push buttons and pushing it all together. It's just one big pole. And GK Calls, we teamed up with him this past year, and it's been an absolute, just game changer. Joe, I swear to God, I'm going to punch you in the throat. But GK Calls, can't thank those guys enough. Can't thank all of our sponsors enough. And I can't thank you guys enough for coming out and spending probably way more time than you guys expected.
1 hour, 45 minutes, and 29 seconds.
It was a hell of a time spending with
Good
you guys.
conversation.
I mean,
we could talk for days.
Probably should have done this on a Friday.
That's all good.
So
it could be a Friday.
I think is it Friday right about now?
Almost.
Not yet.
But until next time, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Share it to your friends.
Thanks for having us, Kyle.
Thank you.
Yeah, Joe.
KG.
Thank you. See you guys.